how do we respond to the stress that we've encountered? It's a response. We've trained it or we haven't. It's when someone gets into a grapple, if they've trained it, they're going to hold their ground. If not, they're going to cower, right? Same thing. That's what strength is doing for you. It's the reserve. It's your fucking Hulk inside of you. It's the dude that goes, stand your ground now. Boom. And you do, emotionally, socially, or physically. That's what strength does to us. It creates an incredible heightened stress that we manage constantly through awareness and posture. It's like fucking carrying a quickie saw up a fucking ladder, man. Like, throw a quickie saw on my back, lead climber up that ladder, man. You know what I mean? Up 60 feet. You're like, well, who's gonna do it? You are. Like, well, how? Okay, you see, all the demand is gonna be placed on us, right? And so how do we condition our nervous systems for that stress? It's strength training. It's strength. So slowing everything down, because when you slow things down on purpose, you are controlling the stress. You are modulating the stress, right? You're choosing more stress, you're adapting to more stress. That's why you've probably heard like guys, they say, don't do too many negatives. Don't do too many drop sets, because the negatives really break down muscle a lot. It creates a lot of soreness. And that's what we want to do, is we want to create a lot of strain and muscle tearing that you're choosing. It's not so heavy you're trying to slow it down. It's heavy and you're going, I'm fucking making this slow down. You see what I'm saying? You're choosing the time under tension. Like my gun, my posture, I am choosing my time under tension. And it's high stress. That's what strength is. So we take the hypertrophy with all those reps to learn the nervous system. The nervous system goes, I got this, through hypertrophy. Then you put strength on it and it goes, oh, the strength is the stimulus that says, all that hypertrophy, we're gonna really solidify this like in granite, right? All those reps, like it's like you when you touch a hot stove, you don't unlearn that, right? Same stuff. When you do something really, really well at very high stress, skydiving, fucking demo. Every single time you pull your gun out, our communities are totally aware you don't put your finger on the trigger unless you intend to use it. And we intend to use it all the time. So my point is that's a recognition of highest possible stress, highest possible stress, highest possible stress. Where can I simulate that? Only with a gun, in reality, to its truth. But where's the closest thing I can contribute to that much stress? In here. And the range, in its own way. One's more physical, one's more emotional, right? And so, did my physical stress transfer into, emotional stress, good body language? Or have I not conditioned my stress to go, emotional stress, what the fuck? The number two guy's going, what is he up to, man? I don't know what the fuck's going on. That's what strength is. That's how, if you got a guy like this person has never encountered stress. Even if they're a fucking team guy, they've never encountered it. And they've never gone through it. Because if they'd gone through it, they go. And so that's what training is. You go, whoa, and someone's go, hey man, good posture. Oh, fuck, yeah. Posture. You learn in real time, and that's what strength is. You're learning, you're either choosing to cower under the weight or go, nope, not stopping. That's the gun time. It's just a different level of it, okay? So strength also is clustered, totally clustered, right? Just like hypertrophy, okay? Because strength, believe it or not, this is where the CNS is developed. This is the height of CNS development from a certain aspect, okay? There's only one time we're going to get to it in which the force production is higher than in this moment, right? And we'll cover that here in a little bit. Your warm-up has to do with the nervous system activation. Because the belly of the muscle will happen real fast. It'll fucking turn on real quick. But the tendons and ligaments are when you're experiencing stiffness, soreness, difficulty moving, your tendons and ligaments are tighter than the muscle bellies. And so how do we get them to do the same thing? We do slow contractions to which the tendons And the ligaments have to take on a locomotion ability. So when we're like this, the body's like, the muscle memory is like, ah, darn it, really stiff. But when I start really slowing down, that's why we walk on the treadmill at first, or maybe a hip circle on, and we do slow form contraction movements that gets the whole body moving at the same rate coding. It's called rate coding. There's no test on this, but rate coding, it just essentially means your body has a memory. When I pick up 35-pound dumbbells, if I've done it before, my body's only going to recall the number of muscle fibers necessary for it to move those historically. So when I unrack a bench press, if I have never done that weight before, it's my PR and I unrack it incorrectly, my body is now trying to take off. It's like you trying to shoot like this. Oh, you can shoot. You might fucking hit, but the chances are very low that you'll hit, and you won't even be aware why, because you can't see your sight picture. So the moment that gravity goes, your body goes, have I done this? It goes, we're going to rate code. Have I been on the hot stove or have I not? If I've never been on the hot stove, you have to choose your position. So you'd be like, well, shit, I'm in my 5th set. I'm tired as fuck. So you have a chance when you're really, really tired to tell your body, when stress shows up, respond like I need it to. That's strength. It's like, oh, okay, fuck, stress is up. Oh, get your head out of your ass and fucking shoot. Okay, that's strength. That is what you're recalling, because you're pulling a coding out of your nervous system saying, this is how we have reacted historically. So when we're talking, because strength is fight or flight, it's dangerous. So how are we reacting to danger? Are we doing it with the proper way of moving through it, or are we not? This is where people, I just chose the heavier, too heavy a weight. And then we get to the 6th, 7th, 8th set, I'm getting tired, my motor function's going bad, what do? Drop weight. Because if I drop the weight, it didn't get easier. I've just now put a load on my body that's going, now motherfucker, you can do this, don't be a bitch. Like, oh fuck, I just went lighter. Hey, I got 2 more doors. We've cleared this whole fucking structure. The dude we're looking for, we haven't found yet, and there's 2 doors left. What are we gonna do? There's only 2 left, man. Like, he'll fuck it. No, it's like, oh shit, dude. All this fucking work, man. Lock it in, dude. It's gonna get hairy. Yeah, man. Like, that's what strength is. That's all it is am I paying attention to my posture? We don't go, fuck, I'm so tired. I could stop right here and cover but no, I'm not. I'm just gonna go right through the fucking door. No. Stop, take cover, right? Dude can't run 3,100 feet per second, so I ain't gonna fucking run. So, that's what nervous system, this is what we call stress inoculation. That's what this is have you been in a stressful situation? How did you react to it? Did you react bad? Well, then you don't have this. If you react good, you've got this somewhere. Somewhere, someone put a lot of stress on your posture, and you can. That's why athletes do so well in spec war. Because so many athletes perform at a very high level, they come in and go, I spent my whole fucking life like this as a catcher. My whole fucking life. My right foot is back as a catcher, like this. Looks just like my gun. I was built for this fucking game. So it's like, oh, okay. My whole life, my glove out there, moving my glove around, just like a gun. Had no idea. So why was shooting so fucking easy for me from a platform standpoint? Because I've been my whole life like this. Rate coding. When I get in a fight with somebody, that's when this hand goes on their fucking face. Because I just lock down on someone. I just do. It came from my rate coding from strength in my sport. Wrestling as well, growing in Iowa. So that's why we don't want to omit strength. So where's the biggest thing that this matters? Number 1, on strength. Why it's so omitted. Ground force management. So every single time that your body leaves the ground on a stride, that foot hits the ground, you either have strength trained or you haven't. This is your direct correlation to run time right here. So if your run time, if you've ran a lot, you've done a lot of cardio, and you can't bring your time down, it's because of this. Merely because of this. That's it. That's the only thing that's missing. And once a person is able to manage ground force with tons of load over through hypertrophy, through strength, When the foot hits the ground, the knee comes out like it's supposed to and then comes off the toe, just like we squat. That's why we squat out. So if someone doesn't squat, their foot hits, the knee comes in over the big toe, the arm comes across the body, and it has to spin out the other side. So that is an indicator of somebody not squatting. That's just a really simple fix, right? You'll see someone that's like stuck at 930, you have them squat, they run like a 750. Boom, there you are, just like that. So that's strength, because it's not just, I want to be strong and be a power lifter. No shit, there are no power lifters that are tier 1 or tier 2, 3 operators that are worth a shit. And there's never been a single operator from any branch of service that's ever gotten out and become a world-class power lifter of any sort. Not even fucking close. So what strength does for you guys is allows you to make really fucking good decisions when your physical body is under the greatest amount of stress it can. That's what you're doing. You're choosing to squat or move very heavy weight relative, right? You're choosing because we're slowing it down, right? Same thing with a gun. And that's super important. And then again, I guess from a cardiovascular standpoint, during during strength training is the one time where we want to minimize ground contact. So during the swim, I would swim during strength training. I would fin. Excuse me. I would do good, like nothing terribly hard, nothing terribly long. I would do moderate finning during strength training. I would be doing rucking during strength training. So I would not exceed on this. I'll go back to hypertrophy. I know I kind of missed that for a minute here, but on this, guys, right for a rucking, I would ruck on this. You can definitely pull from the 2.0 program as well. But on this one for strength, I would keep my bouts short and the weight heavier. So what I'm talking is like 20, maybe 30 minutes max. That's max, right? At 50 pounds max. Because it's not about how much heavy weight can I move. When we're rucking with 50 pounds, this is the math. When you're rucking with 50 pounds on your back at the same walking gait that you would walk at, whoops, when your foot hits the ground, that ground force that you're experiencing with that 50 pounds on your back with a good gait is higher than any run that you'll ever do in selection. When you take all the weight off you and you're fucking running as hard as you can for 4 miles, when your feet hit the ground, they're not anywhere near that it would be if you had a 50-pound ruck on your back. So we're just transferring mass. So this is a run. So a single step is the force of the mass of the body landing on the ground, acceleration. Force equals mass times acceleration. Every step has an F equals ma. If I accumulate F equals ma on over and over, that's total work. Work is the force times the distance. Just that, it's really that simple. So we're saying, okay, if we didn't have 50 pounds on our back, the ground force is such. I take 50 pounds and put it on my back, but I slow down acceleration, the force is still higher with 50 pounds. When we're talking about certain other things, that we're not getting into that extreme, but the extreme we want out of that bodybuilding powerlifting thing is the attention we're putting into the reps, the focus we're putting in the reps, okay? And being aware when I need to cluster. Those are the big things. Cluster, 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 and when my body is breaking down, that's the key. Because the same in bodybuilding. If my posture breaks down, I'm not stressing out the intended muscle. If my posture breaks down, I'm not, you see what I'm saying? Same with if it's a PST. If the posture is the push-up, all my bench press or chest exercises aren't just building my chest. I'm doing all these exercises on pecs to challenge the posture from a different way. That's all these are, is changing of postures and challenging them, okay? So the ruck, that's what we're looking for ruck. On the running side, the simple answer to this is we have a run program specifically targeted at strength. That's the hard thing, is rule is on strength, or really anything, is kind of don't run or ruck on legs or back. Jeez, back day. Yeah, on legs and back day, no matter what the program is, whether it's hypertrophy, strength, power, and speed, do not do rucks and runs on legs and back day. Leave those for their own day. Now, if running is your priority, like, hey, I really need to improve my running, instead of like, what I would do is, if that's like, hey, my biggest priority is improve my run, I would say the biggest necessity is to make sure that you have at least one day devoted to a run. And the same say, hey, I'm doing legs day, that's probably kind of all I can do that day. It's gonna wipe me out. Maybe I might get in the pool and do some skill swimming, but on that very high effort day, right? So if running is like the one thing I need to improve, you should probably devote at least one day to total, like all I'm gonna do this day is a long run or long ruck. That's it, right? To have that. So keep that in mind if running is your priority, and that's what I would do, is prioritize it that way, okay? Like I said, and then during strength training from a running standpoint, really is just, we're just trying to support the energy system we're developing. Running, even if running isn't a priority, when we go into strength training, maybe we only do it for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe you do it for 5. But in the course of that 2 or 3, 5 weeks, you're not gonna run as much. You still, because again, it's a nervous system. Because if we're training the nervous system and running is a big stressor, we don't wanna double up big stressors until when? Until selection, and we got to do it and it's fine, right? But because what we're trying to do is we're trying to build as much tolerance for it. And if we just put everything in one big pile, we don't build tolerance for it, we just get tired and fucking overtrained, okay? So that's the big takeaway on this.